Hey, yeah, just wanting to sit down and process a little bit of this feeling I keep having as I get closer to living in this in real time without an illusion that I can predict anything or control anything or imagine some alternative that has anything to it other than basically a brain fart. Really stuck in amber in a way in a life that is mostly or maybe completely kind of laid out for you, assigned to you, apportioned to you. And this feeling of yeah, it gives me a feeling of claustrophobia instead of expansiveness, at least, right now. And it's felt that way for a little while. There's just a sense like, no, like why don't I, pop a gummy or go to sleep or watch a TV show or something just like it feels like such a responsibility to be present all the time, and I know the point is to acknowledge that you have no responsibility in a sense, that the universe is gonna take care of the universe. I can't fix it, I can't control it, I can't mold it in my own image. I can get mad about it. That's, apparently an option. It doesn't strike me as particularly um, useful or pleasant. And yet something in me keeps wanting to, yeah, but they're racist, or yeah, but they're killing people, or yeah, but. And if you really go into all of the things you could say that about, because you could, if you're mad about every single sadness, every single perceived injustice, every single fucking earthquake, you can spend your life being mad. And it's probably, I mean, it's, if it changes anything, it kind of entrenches, the things that you categorize as bad. Not earthquakes. I don't think I can do much of anything about earthquakes. Maybe there's a scientist out there trying to figure out what they can do, and maybe they'll succeed. Yeah, earthquakes are kind of assholes. It's like it's a nasty thing to spring on somebody. My husband was in a really bad earthquake in Turkey when he was a teenager. It killed people he knew. It destroyed his house. He had to live in along with many others, without running water in a shipping container for 2 years while they rebuilt the city. Um, anyway, point being, yeah, just this sense, this feeling. I want out. I don't want to be stuck here. It doesn't make sense. I mean, I can try. I can post rationalize it. But anyway, the point is, it's a sensation I'm feeling, and I'm not sure what to do about it, if anything. Maybe it needs to play itself out. But yeah, like this. I was walking along the river today, and It's just how can I take anything and much less all of this? It just seems so overwhelming. I mean, I guess it's like anytime you close your eyes, you're missing this whole panorama. Anytime you miss a sunset, anytime you miss a meteor, anytime you miss a smile from your kid. It's just a little bit overwhelming. That sense of it matters what I pay attention to at every moment. And at the same time, do I even control that? Or is it just happening? Yeah, I just want to jump out of my skin, but where am I going to go? Where is this place I think I'm trying to get to? Death, maybe? I don't worry, I'm not going to kill myself. That's not on the table, but just, it feels like there's other than death, which is not something I'm going to do on purpose. It seems like the only way out of because what I'm probably reacting to is reactivity. Again, the two hands drawing themselves. It's like, yeah, so many other things have dropped away, and now it's just finding just some new little toehold of, or maybe an old feeling. Because when I was a kid, I didn't know what it meant to be around people who treat you with respect and um, full personhood, who are interested in you as a person. But I think there was something in me that knew that that's how it was supposed to be, even just as a mammal. Some kind of closeness and just a feeling of safety that I never had. And, maybe I wanted to jump out of my skin because I could sense that this isn't how things are supposed to be. This doesn't feel good. Angelo says, he felt similarly. He just felt so much suffering that he did everything he could to figure out how to get out of that suffering. And I'm on a similar path a bit later in life, but always now, right? Um, yeah, just bumping up against what seems to be either an old feeling coming up or just a new method of reactivity trying to resist this flow of life that I seem to be trying to enter into. That yeah, maybe it's just a fear barrier. I don't know what I'm afraid of, but maybe it's just a instinctual animal fear. I guess I'm not walking around actually feeling afraid. I'm walking around noticing activation that I would label fear. I don't have to label it, I guess. But if I had to, it's kind of like right here. And it gets a little hot the closer I feel like I get to embodying the realization. But yeah, where would I go? It doesn't make sense. Where would I go? There's nowhere. And maybe that's the point. It's like it's trying to say either it wants enlightenment or it wants death or it wants to go back to the way things were. But there's no way out but through, right? There's no way through but through. So I just yeah, feeling it, letting it do its thing. Continue, aiming toward true north as well as I can, understanding there's going to be brambles and briars along the way. I'm not sure where I am on the map or the ox herding pictures or whatever, because I'm not really playing my flute. Well, I guess I am. I mean, in a sense, am not so, I'm not personally angsty. It's more like concern for the universe, concern for people and animals and trees, and the fact that they're all cut down so easily by this by these systems that are just ravenous and heartless, and there always seemed to be some hope I could do something about that. Maybe waking up and doing good art is what I can do, is the best I can do. And it's not gonna be a silver bullet, it's not gonna be a magic pill, it's not gonna probably have any measurable results, that you could put up on a scorecard or on a CV or on a, whatever. I'm reading Letters from a Young Poet again, and Rilke seemed to have this wisdom, this innate ease with his path in life, at least from his letters. Maybe, he was trying to be like that for the young person he was writing to, but he seemed to just be confident in the direction his life was taking. It's like, I'm an artist, that's what I am. I'm going to do art. If I get sick, I'll travel and try to get better and keep doing art. And no apologies for that, at least not in these letters. That sense of certainty is something that I find it hard to feel. I think, there's a long line of women for centuries being denigrated or burned at the stake if they deviated from what was expected of them, which is pretty narrow. narrow roles that they were expected to play. And so, yeah, that sense of how dare I declare myself an artist? How dare I not fight every bad thing as hard as I can? And yeah, the old story about picking up one stranded starfish and throwing it into the ocean. I'm sure that matters too, and I do that too. But when you take it all together, it's paralyzing. It's endless, and I can't fix it all, and I have to live with this universe as it is. And like, every person killed, they're not really killed, they're recycled. Every person crucified, it's the universe crucifying itself. So in a sense, you can say nobody has responsibility for that, which doesn't sit right with me. But yeah, all these things are kind of jumbled up at the moment. And like I say, it's okay to be jumbled up. I some parts of me would like some kind of confidence, some kind of direction, some kind of stand to take. And is there a difference between apathy, standing by, ignorance on the one hand, and on the other hand, fully realizing and acknowledging the limits of your powers and not spending your entire life struggling, spinning your wheels in a way that could end up just making things worse. Because I see so many activists, God bless them. I couldn't necessarily join them because they're so strident and because they take things like, instead of, if this is the truth and this is um, the people doing bad things are lying about it, they try to go over here to, I guess, to balance it out, or to, to yell and scream in the face of bombs. And like I said before, I'm not judging them, I'm not finding fault, but does it help? Does anything help? Are some things just written and you just have to watch? They couldn't stop World War One. They couldn't stop World War Two. Couldn't stop the Iraq War. Couldn't stop the Vietnam War until 30 fucking years or whatever it was. Didn't even know about so much of the things happening in Central and South America, just secret evil stuff. Is there any corner of the world that's not going to be just devastated by this virus of Western imperialism? The entire Middle East, Iraq, Syria, Palestine, Lebanon. Egypt's a mess, run by a dictator. Yemen is being destroyed. It's tough. You want to say to the creator, why are you making people endure this? Why are you making people watch this? Why give us so many thousands of years to build things and then just tear them down. And the way things are going, I mean, right wing fascists are ascendant in so many places with no end in sight. And the sort of neocon, neoliberal, you know, um, so-called opposition, they're just spitting out focus grouped crap and ignoring most of reality too in a slightly nicer package. And then, yeah, the fascists just want to dismantle the whole concept of opposition. So it's a rough place. It's a rough time to be a cognizant human. Who cares about people and places? I mean, yeah, in the end, you throw it all away and look at a tree, like if there's any trees left. But yeah, so the sense of wanting to escape from this world and its horrors, and also a feeling of wanting to escape this non-duality study because it's not overtly, clearly, in a way that you can point to helping anything. And the people around me who are running themselves ragged, trying to do what they can. I mean, that's great. That's important. It's important to help anyone. But it can make me feel guilty, and it seems like guilty for not doing that much. And it seems like doing things based on guilt is probably not the best way to do anything. But the guilt is still there. I guess one of my tasks is to work on sublimating that. It's not easy because we can always do more. There's so much to do in the relative sense. So just some thoughts.